Hello Taurus, welcome to Creators on the Crest. I'm Stephanie, this is Blazer the Morkie, and we are bringing you your reading for the next 10 days. Today we'll be pulling a card for your overall energy. We'll of course take a look at your energy specifically, the energy of the person connected to you, and then how your energies mingle and dance in the middle. And we'll close it off with an oracle card for the Tauran collective. Do keep in mind these are general readings, so take only what resonates and leave the rest. You can check out your sun, moon, rising, and north node reading placements for additional context and texture. And also be sure to check out the description below. I usually go into all the details about what's down there, but I am preparing to go out of town on a business trip, so we are just going to go straight into the reading. But I do encourage you like, share, subscribe, and check out the description links. Okay, Taurus, you got the number 9 card today. Power volcanoes. Ooh, Taurus. Some explosive energy, perhaps. We will see how that might be playing out in your life. On your side, you get the Page of Swords, the 5 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups. Taurus, are you upset with somebody? Are you upset with somebody? Doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partner. You do have emotions tied up with this, however. I feel like you feel restless about this connection that's being presented here. There's also sadness and lamenting, maybe looking back on the past to do with this person and times that you walked away, maybe for your own peace of mind, maybe for your own introspection, but nonetheless a turning away from love. Now, I'm not necessarily seeing yet the explosive energy of volcano there, but we're going to hold that in mind here. For the person connected to you, they get the 3 of Pentacles, the Tower, and they have the 6 of Swords that has come up here. But it came up in reverse, and I thought I had all these cards all facing the same way. And the 6 of Swords in reverse, something is stuck with this person. There's been a change of plans, maybe sparked by some sort of upheaval with this Tower. It honestly feels like something came and rocked this person's peace. I don't know if it was you, but it's definitely affected the relationship here. The volcano, the explosion, the Tower could have been on their side here, and it's affecting the overall energy. In the middle of your connection with this person, you get the 7 of Wands, and they get a special bonus card in this particular tarot deck. It's called the Beyond. And this is about the soul, and this is about the greater being of you, of this person, and the energy that's achieved through the connection. So maybe you're upset with somebody who caused, or your perception is they caused a Tower for this other person. Let's take a look here. Definitely a lot of activity, not necessarily feeling 100% the best, okay? For the Page of Swords, you get the 8 of Swords and the 2 of Pentacles. Part of what may be causing you restlessness, Taurus, is that you are, for whether it's what's happening with this person and the effect on the relationship, or whether it's your own journey inside yourself and with yourself, you feel pretty confused, pretty tied up, pretty blindfolded to what's really the greater, the beyond all of this, what is going on here kind of outcome. You don't see that. You're in a state of confusion. You may be having trouble sleeping. Some of you may be having trouble sleeping, and maybe having trouble making decisions. Could be about this person, could be about how you want to approach them. Because remember, whatever they've gone through, and maybe some things from your own side, from your past, because I did get past energy with that 5 of Cups, lamenting about the past. It's been triggered and brought up in this connection. And it's kind of exploded, out of the mountain there with that volcano. Now that volcano comes along with power. So we remember, even when things are breaking down, that is leading to something new to be built up. So let's see here. Remember, volcanoes too, over time, they create a really rich soil for new things to grow. So I'll just point that out. Never feels great in the moment though, right? So for your 5 of Cups, the lamenting on the past, you have the Queen of Cups and the Death card. I think there's been times in the past, Taurus, where you really failed to choose yourself when you were being called to choose yourself. And so you had these times in your past where you lacked self-care. It kind of puts you in a place of being pessimistic or feeling let down by the world, maybe a little bit of victim mentality, a little bit of poor me. I think you've been working really hard to repair that. And there's just this part of you that feels sad for your past self having to go through that, your little you, right, having to go through that. But you are offering now, you're bringing in kind of a Scorpio energy, so you might want to look for where Scorpio might land in your chart or in someone around you. Transformation is coming in, and you're allowing this in, and you're doing so in a very loving way for yourself, which I like. So we've got a lot of emotional energy blended together here, but I also like what you're doing with it. This would be what you would want to do if this energy was coming up, especially something bubbling up from the past. Let's look at this 8 of Cups for you here. You get the Knight of Swords and the Page of Cups. So because of what you've had to navigate in the past, possibly walk away from, possibly forced to choose between yourself and another person, I do feel like you made the choice to choose yourself and you moved in the direction that you ultimately wanted to move in. But this was really different for you. You weren't used to doing that. And it's probably from your upbringing and the way you were raised. Maybe you were expected to be seen and not heard. Maybe your opinion was not valued. Maybe you were put in a position of feeling small by one or both of your parents or someone at school, a bully or something like that. And I do see you now offering that person that you were, that youngster even that you were, love. I see you offering love to the situation, love that it's okay to have walked away, it's okay to have chosen yourself, it's okay to have let someone go in the process, okay? So you're coming to a peace with that. You're beginning to, with the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups there, really come into your heart space about it, and the heart is where you're going to be able to transform the energy. So even though it's hard here, Taurus, I like the way you are moving in those energies. Let's look at this 3 of Pentacles for the person you're connected to. This person gets the Wheel of Fortune and the 6 of Wands on the 3 of Pentacles. I feel like this person is really used to winning, okay, in life. You know, maybe it started with the spelling bee and has continued through getting awards and getting all kinds of things. And they've put in some hard work. Don't get me wrong. It's not that they haven't worked hard. But now they're starting to find that those rewards are a little harder to come by in their life for some reason. And it's probably because they're being called to let go of something. They may have some baggage they've been carrying around, and they've been working through it just fine to date, but now they are starting to see the slowdown in their own life through external things that are coming up to them or not coming up to them, because they're used to maybe having a certain level of recognition that's no longer there. This could be somebody who's changing jobs, perhaps, getting used to a new work environment or a new boss even. Something has changed for them and they're not really loving that. For the Tower, they get the Page of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. So this person has a lesson to learn when it comes to conflict and conflicting energies. I would say this is a really interesting energy that I'm picking up in their field. They do not like conflict at all, but for some reason they over engage in conflict. They over engage in always being right, always having the right answer, always having something to say, over logicking, one-upmanship. They keep throwing fuel on the fire that's going to bring them down. And it's because they really fear conflict, so they try to get on top of it. Does this make sense? This is a very strange energy. I don't feel this all the time for people. Usually it's like people are very conflict avoidant, or they're very like and aggressive and assertive. This one does not prefer the conflict, but has some sort of, they've overshot the energy in trying to escape it, and they just created more setbacks for themselves by doing that. Stillness. This person does not have a lot of stillness right now. That's why this 6 of Swords here is in reverse. Let's get some clarifiers. The 3 of Swords and the Star. They have some baggage. They have some baggage that they need to let go of. It's connected with a lot of pain, a lot of sadness and sorrow for them. And it is preventing them from experiencing a lighter energy, and they're not helping it out by the one-upmanship that they're doing with, could be with you, could be in their job, could be with, another something that has happened to them that, they bring it though. It's all, they're not compartmentalizing. It's coming into the relationship with you. And so things are flowing here, but they don't always feel good. Sometimes it's like hot lava. We got to get away from that, right? But they kind of do it to themselves for fear of engaging in a disagreement or conflict when it's important to engage, right? There are always going to be those times where we have to step up and be assertive because they're so afraid of that. They actually have such a fear of having to do that they've erred on it's like, I'm going to overshoot all the conflict energies so you got nothing to come at me with. That's what the energy kind of feels like. And part of the reason they do that too is because it keeps them in a distracted place where they don't have to hold on to this pain, because they're constantly like, how can I get in front of this, right? Instead of being still. This person needs stillness, but they don't have it from what I can see here. For the 7 of Wands in the connecting energies, you're bringing in the energy of the Hanged Man. They bring in the 4 of Pentacles. You have really tried maybe with this person to communicate a perspective that is actually quite valuable. The Hanged Man is a very wise energy. It is one in which we do put ourselves into a place of stillness so that we can arrive at a new conclusion, so that we can let go and release the baggage, so that we can move through conflict in a healthier manner. And I feel like maybe you have given this person a suggestion that is actually quite valuable, but they have the 4 of Pentacles. They're holding on to old ideas about things. They're holding on to, and maybe Taurus, I hate to say it, this other person, they could be a Taurus, but they're being stubborn. They're stubbornly kind of resisting you, even though you're bringing something very powerful for them and very magical and very beautiful and very important to the table. And they're like, no, I'm just going to keep thinking like I'm thinking because I don't want to go through all of this. But what's happening to them is that the universe is beginning to slow down the rewards, the good things coming in, because the universe wants them to pay attention to this. Hopefully it won't result in a big tower for them. However, they seem to really be trying to overshoot this conflict. So I don't know. It looks like at some point a boiling point will be reached with you coming in. You're bringing in that rational and loving perspective. You have that. That's what I'm going to call this reading, because I think you're doing that because of some of this energy that you've had to work through, especially from your younger years. You're bringing in this wisdom and this beautiful perspective, maybe one that you reached for yourself. It's quite valuable, would help this person, but they're, at least for the time being, for the short term, they're resisting it. They don't want to be vulnerable. Okay, for the beyond. So this is where we look at this relationship and we say, okay, on a soul level, this is beautiful. You bring in the energy of the Queen of Swords. They bring in the King of Swords. That's power couple. That's dynamic feminine masculine coming together in a sacred agreement. That is the higher forces, the higher wisdom, the clarity of mind coming into perspective here. And it is what is going to take this relationship to the next level, honestly, is this energy. This is why you're still putting in the effort. This is why you're still showing up for this person. And I don't blame you. I feel like if they can really work through these energies here and they can stop interfering with their own healing process, that there's really something here between the two of you. But right now, there's a lot of power dynamics that are in flux. Let's put it that way with that volcano. There is potential for blow-ups here, so do watch out for that, Taurus. I see you coming in with a perspective that's quite wise with that Hanged Man, but you never know how another person will take it, especially if they're refusing their own healing process. So, Taurus, we pulled a card for you from the Super Attractor Oracle, and your message is, I do not have to fear my own fear. I can use it as a way to get closer to love. I don't have to fear my own fear. I can use it as a way to get closer to love. And I think that's something, Taurus, that you've really embraced because of what you've gone through in the past and how maybe you've been hurt, injured, neglected, right? And so you've come to this beautiful point of that awareness. This other person you're connected to, though, needs to learn how to embrace this. If you have an open enough connection with this person, send them the reading. I don't have to fear my fear. I can use it as a way to get closer to love. And the love first starts within ourselves, toward ourselves, right? This person ultimately will have to love themselves enough to allow themselves to be vulnerable, to release the baggage that they're carrying. You know, they've gotten their little comfort level with that. They've gotten their little distraction zone with that. It's time to let that go because there's something very beautiful here that can be expanded into, but there are some energies that need clearing here. Taurus, thank you so much for joining this reading today. It was my pleasure to do it, and I look forward to seeing you next time.